got the fever. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Samantha Moore. And this week, it's all about the big thaw. Temperatures are going to be up around 15 to 30 degrees above average.
Across a lot of the country. Let's take a look at some of the temperatures out there right now. Even at this hour, it's not too bad out there. We've got Atlanta up to 57, Raleigh in the 50s. Even in Minneapolis, we are at 37 degrees. In Boston, up at 38.
Yeah, and in Kentucky, we have flood warnings this morning as these temperatures are warming up and that snow is starting to melt. So communities along the Ohio River, where more than a foot of snow from the winter storm Thor has melted down 1 inch of snow.
Yeah, this is a problem we deal with around this time every year. Kate Parker is in Louisville, where we're expecting not just the snow melt, Kate, but of course the rain moving in. So where are you standing right now? We already have rain in the south, especially in Texas, and we're going to add that rain eventually into the Ohio Valley. Places like Louisville will get some rain before the week is over. But for Houston, we are starting our week off pretty wet. I know it was a soggy Sunday. It's going to be a soggy Monday, and we've got more rain in for you overnight tonight and tomorrow as well. Flood watches are in effect here in Texas. They stay in effect through this evening, although the rain isn't necessarily ending by this evening. But the flood concern here is through today and through tonight. Austin, Houston, San Antonio, all spots that have already picked up more than 1 inch of rain yesterday. We've been picking up more than of that same type of rain again today, very heavy at times, and there's more to come. Also, a little batch of rain moving through eastern Tennessee and into western North Carolina, including from Asheville into Charlotte. North Georgia got a little rain as well. That's not a big deal, and that's going to be out of here before we know it. But the big story is that what we're tracking is an upper level low over Texas. It's very slow moving, as you can attest to if you're in Texas and have had hours and days of rain now. But we're going to be looking for that to be on the move, and it is still going to remain slow moving, so it's going to pump up a lot of moisture. 2 to 3 inches of rain widespread through the southeast and Tennessee Valley. We see today into tonight the rain on the move. We'll see that moving into Louisiana, Mississippi, into Tennessee, into Kentucky. Rain coming your way, and especially Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's when we think a lot of the rain is going to add up. We'll get tapping into a little Gulf moisture here and bring up more moisture into the area. So look at Thursday, a very wet, soggy, if not stormy forecast for some right across the southeast. Atlanta, that includes you. So we bring back in the showers come tomorrow afternoon in Atlanta. Keep the chance of thunderstorms in. Warm, humid day on Wednesday. Then Thursday and Friday, we stay locked into the clouds and locked into the rain as we round out the work week. So, and temperatures are warming up, and we are going to see a noticeable change, especially in the Midwest, in the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast. I mean, look, we'll take what we can get, right? And we will be warming up, not to the extent that other folks will, though.
That's right. You know, much of the nation is really starting to sweat.
Find your Northeast friends. I bet they're in Florida. You know, we've got some warm temperatures in the Southeast for sure, but Florida is the warmest. And meteorologist Paul Goodlow is live in Fort Lauderdale this morning, where spring break and spring training all underway. Oh, Paul, you have us so jealous here. I mean, look at the surf just rolling in, the waves, the wind. And you're wearing a T-shirt. It's fantastic. All right, yeah.
We appreciate it. We sure do.
It looks great out there. Paul, thank you. All right, so coming up, we're continuing to follow the stories for you today here. We're going to talk more about another problem that all this winter weather has caused, potholes.
Oh, yes, potholes.
It's a big weekend, wasn't it? We, of course, had the time change. Hope everyone remembered to spring forward. And we really got rid of a lot of snow cover. Take a look at where we were on Friday. March 6th, we had 51.6% of the country with snow cover. Every single day over the weekend, we got rid of more snow. By Saturday, it was only 39%. By Sunday, it was 30%. And today, we are running about 25% when it comes to snow cover. We'll keep on going, too, because mild temperatures certainly are going to be the story. And take a look at where we're going to be for today. Minneapolis, 20 degrees above average at 57. It's not a record, but still, it's going to be well above average. 52 in Indy, Paducah 55. We'll get rid of more of our snow cover in Indiana and Ohio, and even parts of Michigan today. We'll be getting rid of snow thanks to the warmer temperatures. D.C., we're heading up into the 60s, and you can see even in places like Buffalo and Boston, while we're not crazy high above average, we're still above freezing, and that's a trend that will continue through the week. Sam.
But after a beautiful weekend, big changes are in store for the southeast today.
Yeah, widespread rain in the northeast still left. Thanks for joining us and staying with us on Weather Center Live. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Samantha Moore, and we've been talking about the big thaw. Tremendous amounts of snow from this winter now melting, creating rising weather levels in some spots, like in Kentucky. And we're expecting 1 to 3 inches of rain across the state through Thursday on top of all of the snow melt.
All right, so this is the season, right, when we worry about flooding on the river. rivers and streams. Flood warnings have been issued for communities along the Ohio River, and Kate Parker is live in Louisville this morning. You know, Kate, first of all, I know you've got water around you, but are there any signs of snow still left? Problem I think we're going to be talking about soon in New England for sure, with the amount of snow and the amount of water that's locked up in that snowpack. Let's talk about how we get rid of snow. It's not just about the warm temperatures to melt away the snow. There's a lot more that goes into it, actually. And in fact, warming temperatures is the best way to get rid of the snow. It gives you a nice slow gradual melt. Other things can be more effective to melt that snowfall. So of course, you know, warm temperatures helps, but when you warm new snow versus old snow, there's a difference. New snow is very white and it reflects all of the sun's radiation, or almost all of it, back up here into space. But old snow's got some dirt in there, and that actually absorbs more of the radiation and warms up the snowpack and helps it melt quicker. Also, when you get rain, or especially when you get fog or anything that gets the temperature and the dew point close together, when they're above freezing, that leads to more condensation, and that leads to a heating. Condensation is a heating process, and that in turn, it just sort of reciprocates on itself and helps to warm up the snowpack and lead to more melting. Then you take a look at the wind, and the wind is also a big factor, and we see this a lot of times. You know, overnight the wind picks up, it dries out our roads after a snowstorm, right? Well, what happens with wind is it causes something called sublimation, and basically snow or ice goes directly into the vapor state and again gets it off the ground. So these are the things that lead to increased snow melt. The thing is, we've had it all winter, haven't we? We are running warm and continuing to see those warm temperatures. Take a look. Let's see. We skipped over to Boston. We are watching for the West Coast warmth to continue. I know the East, of course, you've had your fair share of cold, and unfortunately, we are going to be looking at somewhat of improvement in places like Boston. But on the West Coast, we're really going to feel that warmth continuing. So let's look at Salt Lake City, where temperatures have been above average through the winter. In fact, Utah as a whole saw its warmest February on record, and we're going to keep that warm trend continuing right through the week into next weekend, when temperatures are more than 10 degrees above average. This is the reason why this big ridge of high pressure, it's been so resilient over the west through the entire winter, and we're going to see that continue through this week as well. And that means that all the cold air stays locked up north, and we're going to see that trend with temperatures well above average, not just in the west, actually also down into parts of the Midwest as well. The ridge is going to influence our weather, and we will see above average readings. But when we talk about the places that will break records, I think it's going to happen here in a few cities along the west coast of the lower 48. We got temperatures going up this week here, continuing every single day to warm. I want you to pay attention to Los Angeles, because temperatures in the 70s is already above average, right? But by the end of the week, we're talking about mid to upper 80s. And by this upcoming weekend, we're getting closer to 90. You can see that trend well above our 70-degree average. We are getting up to near 90 on Saturday and Sunday in LA. Beaches will be packed as we get folks here into the end of this week. And you know what? A lot of folks in town, spring break is huge right now, Sam.
I know. A lot of the beaches at Lake Havasu City, of course, that's in Arizona along the Colorado River. There's no ocean, but they have the Colorado River, and it's dammed up to make Lake Havasu, and temperatures there in the upper 80s. So folks are going to be jumping in the water to cool off. It's so darn warm.
I wonder what the water temperatures are.
I don't know. We'll have to check that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, because it is coming from the north. It may not be all that balmy. Out of Goodyear, and that's just west of Phoenix, we're talking about sunshine each and every day for spring training. And, you know, we have the Angels taking on Cincinnati this week, and that's going to be today exactly at 4:05. So a warm one. Wear the sunscreen.
It looks fantastic. Lots of sunshine. If you're trying to get away, this is the place you want to go. We've got great looking weather throughout the week. Sun continues for us through today. Phoenix, we've got our temperatures heading up to 80, 81, 82 degrees by this evening.
Nice indeed.
All right, so even though spring warmth is taking over a lot of the country, winter isn't going down without a fight. It's winter weather update time, and yes, we still have plenty of winter to talk about. Today, there's a little clipper moving through the northeast, and you might see a snow shower or two, not a big deal. But this weekend, we've got another system to talk about, and it will affect places like Boston. So here we go. We kick things off with a dry week, an above average week in Boston. Finally, we get to 50, but then this weekend, we bring the snowflakes back into your forecast. Now, temperatures will top out during the day in the upper 30s, but overnight, dipping down to near freezing. So So let's talk about the snowfall potential in the Northeast as we get you into the end of the week. We're going to see a lot of moisture returning. First to the southeast, you'll feel it, but that makes its way back up here into the Northeast. There is some cold air, of course, still left to be found, and a lot of that's going to be hanging out across northern Maine into parts of New England. It's going to keep on giving way as we get you through the end of the week, but there'll be enough there, especially overnight and in the early morning, that when the moisture comes back and interacts with the cold air, we will have that chance of some snow. So we'll see an area of low pressure tracking up here, coming from the south, tracking up right along the coast, and it's going to mean rain for places like D.C. and Philadelphia. Plenty of warm air, or warm enough air in place for that. But as we get you into the tri-state and certainly into southern New England, we're going to have to look for that risk of some snowfall or wintry mix, because temperatures will drop down to the freezing mark, especially again overnight, Saturday night, maybe into Sunday morning will be the timing of when we have to watch for that. In a place like Boston, it's not a guarantee that you'll get a lot of snow. More likely up in the parts of Maine and northern parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, that's where you will get some new snow, and it will be that spring snow. And you know how wet and icky that kind of spring snow is. That's what we'll be dealing with. For Boston, for us, we need 1.9 inches of snow to tie the snowiest season on record. And there's a chance, but not a guarantee, that we'll get it this weekend. Sam.
Well, definitely.